Hey, Tyler, you on your way to algebra?
Yeah, I'll see you there.
You're awful!
The preceding joke was brought to you by men.
Men, we don't know what we did.
A few weeks ago, I almost drowned. There was this jumping platform thingy that everybody was jumping on. So I thought, what the hell, I might as well try it too. It looked like fun. Apparently, I hit my head on the way down. I woke up lying on my back up on the platform, and this weird 40-year-old guy pressing down on my chest. At first I had no idea what was going on, but then the man who had revived me told me that I had been underwater for a month. He said that he had been lucky to get a hold of me down there. A small part of me was happy to be alive, but the rest of me was screaming inside. I can't believe he just felt that he had the right to just grab me under the water while I was not unconscious. I wasn't able to consent. He thought it was perfectly okay to just grab my body and pull me in whatever direction that he pleased. He possessed my body, and he grabbed my waist and pulled me around down there like it was his right, like he wanted to have sex with me down there in the water.
Deep breaths, brothers. Here we go. Not too long ago, I made a reaction video with the last clip that went viral involving a woman suing a man for essentially being saved. It's something that happens more than you think, and I wanted to get deeper into the story here, but you always need to wait a minute before the dust to settle before getting any more information. Well, that day has come, and we now have a lot more to dive into regarding this catastrophe, and why it's one of the main reasons no man encourages chivalry in the West. Alex Way made a petition titled Petition to Get Cassidy Boone Jailed. In it, we get a better, albeit more troubling, picture of what went down that day, and what followed. So we've all heard of Cassidy Boone, the self-claimed fab social justice activist. Anyone who can read will be able to confirm there's a higher chance of Kanye helping the homeless than there is truth to that statement. But Miss Boone became heard of when publishing her article, "A man saved me from drowning, but now I am suing him for grape because he touched me."
Wonderful.
Okay, I don't know what the Kanye thing was about, but let's keep reading.
The next page, Luce.
Cassidy was at a lake when she decided to jump off this 10 feet high floating jumping tower and hit her big head on the way down and knocked herself unconscious. You'd think swimming is a bad idea for anyone whose brain is apparently made out of brick. Cassidy subsequently started to drown. Not funny. She was underwater for over 2 minutes before her rescuer barely managed to find her hand, pull her up, and through the water to safety. This would have probably been very difficult, and I imagine it must have felt like dragging a dead whale through the waves. Here's a snippet of Cassidy's article to see what happens next from her point of view.
This should be good.
He carried me up the little ladder and laid me down on the wooden boards of the floating platform. People were gathering around us, gasping, screaming, crying. I was astonished. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe I was alive. I was feeling like shit though. I was woozy. I was in pain. But most of all, I was disgusted. It's honestly one of the craziest things I've ever read or heard. And you know me, guys. I've seen a lot of gut-wrenching trash in my day. Kids in hot cars for hours, rich guys marrying secret escorts, the whole 9 yards. This, however, is wild. I mean, this creature did one of those America's Funniest Home Videos leaps of an unstable structure, especially for a chick her size, smacks her head and bangs against things all the way down into the water, then gets revived, and the first thing out of her mouth is, "Get off me." It's an IQ test without having to put pen to paper.
Men f it up.
No, you know what?
Every single time! Every time!
Look, I don't think men f it up every single time. I think the men that you date f it up every single time.
Excuse
because
me?
you probably have a type, and the type of men that you're attracted to, those are the guys f***ing it up. There's a lot of guys out there that won't f it up. You probably just don't give them a chance.
Trying to fix it by getting married.
I just had to drag my AC out of my car to my apartment building. 3 guys passed me. None of them offered to help. None. 0 out of 3. Why? Because you couldn't lift it? You were too scared to lift it? Is that why? Am I intimidating? Am I more masculine than you?
Gee, I wonder why men aren't making efforts to help anymore. Oh, maybe it's because if they lifted the AC, but dropped it after tripping over your cats, you'd sue them for everything they have. Before getting back to the main story here, there's more from this crazy chick statement that I found elsewhere. I was disgusted at this hairy man having felt it appropriate to touch my body like that, to grab me forcefully and pull me in whatever direction he wanted to go. He took control of my body down there in the cold water when I was unconscious and unable to look out for myself. He touched my all but bikini bare body when I was knocked out and unable to struggle.
Well, number one, you were unconscious.
Him, being a white man, felt he had the right to possess my milky body, to put his rough hands on my innocent flesh and command my body to come with him to the surface.
And what the fuck?
I did not give him consent. In fact, I was unable to give consent, and yet he grabbed me around my waist and gripped my hand and pressed my body against his like we wanted to engage in aquatic sex.
What are you?
I am now charging or suing or whatever this man for grape, because what he did is literally the definition of grape. He exerted his patriarchal power over me and did stuff to my body without my consent. Sure, he saved me from drowning, but if we start excusing grape just because our grapists did a nice thing to us, we're really just excusing grape culture. This is the reason why I don't identify myself as a feminist. I am just a social activist. Oh, okay, boys. My bad. She's not a feminist. I guess I'll just pack my bags and I'll get out of here. Like, what the hell are we talking about? Seriously, from the milky body detail, which is honestly straight nasty, to the insane interpretation of CPR, I don't even know where to start with this one. Moreover, as crazy as all of this is, it's most definitely not something you'd hear about a dude if he was on the other end. Picture this, or maybe not picture it, just listen. Imagine I got saved by an older woman after getting swept up in some kind of current. Then I ran over to the police department to say that I was violated, describing CPR with, "She held me close and caressed my hairy body as I lied there unconscious." I'd be laughed out of the building, and then out of the town. Good God, I feel like Al Pacino in Scent of a Woman.
What life? I got no life! I'm in the dark here! You understand? I'm in the dark!
Does 2 + 2 equal 4?
In your brain, it definitely does.
No, I'm asking you.
Like, what are we talking about?
The number, just asking you
literally the number 2. You guys are not
equal 4.
1 atom plus 1 atom equals 2. Yes.
Does it, or yes or no, equal 4?
Say it again.
Does 2 + 2 equal 4?
If we're talking on the atomic level, yes.
Okay, what level does it not equal 4?
Anything other than the atomic level.
So anything other than the atomic level, meaning?
I am a body made of billions of cells. So
as you can plainly see, the alleged victim Cassidy Boone here isn't the cause of this feminist insanity, but she sure is a member of the hive mind that is rapidly deteriorating with each passing day. These chicks make up their own logic whenever it suits the message. If it is something as certain as mathematics, they'll change it. If it's the law, they'll try and warp it to serve a motive. Or in this case, if a man went out of his way to save your life like a good man does, well, the next move is to see if he can take his money. And if anyone needed further proof, my God, there's more. You don't have to be a genius to realize the stupidity in her words. She had the nerve to carry on and say this. The guy, my grapist, whose name I later learned was Jim, is due before court soon, charged with grape. When I told him I was pressing charges, he was shocked, then he got angry, and then he even began to cry when he thought about what his family would have to go through.
Oh, what a bitch!
Seeing my grapist break down that way was nothing less than empowering, and I am glad I am able to put him before the justice system and have him punished for what he put me through. There is no way I am losing this fight. Jim will get at least 10 years in prison. My lawyers will make sure of that, and maybe this will set an example for other men who think they have the right to touch women without consent.
You should have stayed dead.
Okay, so that was rough. I've been sharing a lot of positive, uplifting messages lately, so I guess I had this one coming. Here's the situation in a nutshell, Cassidy. Regardless of what someone did or didn't do, relishing in the pain a family experiences is just pure concentrated evil. This guy was just representing the best qualities masculinity has to offer. He saw someone facing a crisis, he intervened, and on top of all that, he saved a damn life. Now you're making it your life's mission to try and bury him for his moral obligations. You're attempting to strip him of all the glory that he should be receiving for what men do best. This is a guy that should be paraded around the city and given a medal, but the media has gone quiet because one of their darlings went rogue using the feminist message. Again, I wish this was an isolated case, but let's be honest here. It's the product of a mentality that's been unchecked for 100 years.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but not every woman has to be put in this box of cook me dinner, make me babies, keep quiet. Some of us were born to run the world.
You're ugly!
Whew. Dodged a bullet on that one.
You certainly did. I'm of course addressing the guy who actually received this swift message. Again, Boone is the product of something that Western governments have green-lighted for decades. The system can pretend that they have no party in the mania that follows every man for doing what is right, but at the end of the day, the facts speak for themselves. This was the response from Alex. I am writing to you today as a victim myself, as an equalist, and as a normal effing human being. This man and his family will be put through hell when he deserves to be praised as a hero. I believe that real justice needs to be served and she should be taken to court for false accusations of rape. Since the release of that article, she has released many other racist and hateful statements and will continue to do so at this rate. She knows exactly what she is doing and is on the same level as other hate groups and sexist groups. I propose that she serves at least 20 years imprisonment. 20 years, at least for me and most of the people watching this, is a little light. I mean, for God's sake, the man is a hero doing something amazing and she's trying to accuse him of doing almost the exact opposite. And on top of that, he's undoubtedly going to have to go into debt to face a court battle for being a good Samaritan. But once again, this is the mentality of the progressive modern woman. Burn down a building and say that it was the patriarchy that lit the match.
But it's on men's behavior of not making the world such a safe place for women.
One, women watch too much Lifetime. Stop watching Lifetime is not true. Bad things really don't happen like that. If you want truth, men provide the safety that you experience in this first world country today. Without men, you wouldn't experience this comfortability that you have. Women are more likely to walk outside and be safe and nothing would happen than men are. Statistics shows that men are the victims of most crimes. Women are the protected class by other men. So you talking about, oh, it's just unsafe? No, it's not unsafe. She could tell you firsthand. You came to America, to a first world country. Give me 2 reasons why you came here.
Because I want a better life for myself.
God dang, because you want a better life for yourself because men built this country.
I ain't much for speeches.
There's a time when a man has to ask himself whether he wants a life of happiness or a life of meaning.
I'd like to have both.
Can't be done. 2 very different paths. I mean, to be truly happy, a man must live absolutely in the present. No thought of what's gone before and no thought of what lies ahead. But life of meaning, a man is condemned to wallow in the past and obsess about the future.
To an extent, this is probably the best way to describe the burden of man. Reminding yourself that the course needs to be corrected while thinking about the best way to move forward. I think living in the moment is important as well, but that's not usually the default setting without serious mindfulness training. Anyway, the point is, what's done is done. If this story teaches us anything, it's that modern women are a long way from improving in the ways they say they are. There are a bunch of trads and pick-me's, but the bulk of the Western world is riddled with chicks waiting to turn chivalry into a lawsuit. That's what we see when looking at the history. Now the future, and this is the good part, is in our hands. The old man is right. Most of the life that we live does not consist of happiness. Otherwise, this man wouldn't be suffering in this way. But that doesn't mean there isn't a purpose out there. And that's the thing we should focus on, while letting chicks like this fall where they may, figuratively, sometimes.
As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, Hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.